What's going on, pig pigs? We're gonna be on the Yokeez, right? Let's see what Yoki got to talk about. Hmm. Let's see. Somebody on that bull, of course. They on 10 with that bull, acting like a bull, riding a bull, staggering, being in the way of others. Talking a good one, talking a real good one, but not really trying to come through with nothing. 10 and 11. You're talking a good one, but you're really not trying to come through with nothing solid. Most definitely not. Most definitely nothing solid. And it's the energy of since I'm trapped in this maze, you're gonna be trapped in this maze with me as well. 8 and 9. So since I gotta be here, you're gonna be with me as well until I can get out. And that's where these false relationships are coming in at. With you my soulmate, you my twin, you this, you that. If people are still approaching you with that, they are trying to take you down with them, right? Right. And if you are, hey, if you consider yourself a divine masculine, she considers herself a divine feminine, then hey, rock with it. Have fun and hell together. Right, 3. Have fun and hell together. 23. That's your death. That's your time. That's your finish. And death is between you, God, Jesus, and the devil. I don't know what the devil's real name is, but that's between the 3 of you. Because you refuse to wake up, to come out of your stupor. You love staying in that gray to dark area with that 6. Putting forth dead energy, 33. Trying to be a mirror image of someone. To where you then went to Stalker City. Your indulgences are there. Overindulgences. And you're at the 15. And this is your last warning for change. When you're at the 15. Because your next is 20. And that's when you're in distress. That's why the peeling of the layers is taking place. But if you're getting glue and gluing them back on, well, number 4, the layers. The message to remove anything that is unhealthy for you, that you have been instructed to remove. You have been instructed to remove all of these things yet again. But you keep selling yourself short. 60. You have a chance to go through your period of training, releasing, and then come into jubilation, but you want to keep selling yourself short and you want to keep holding on to just a moment rather than a lifetime. So your credentials, your credit is all done. You're finished. 13. It's all done. You don't have the proper credentials to move forward because you choose not to. You're in turtle mode. 12. You're resting in a spot of comfort when you should be moving, because 13 is a chance to die. 13 is a chance to be removed. 13 is a chance to, and this is in the physical, to have someone come and take you out because you have failed. And then there's another bunch who, okay, the 13 is coming up, but it's to help you kill the old you so you can move into 14, the balancing out of your new self. Right. Because you're getting rid of your old self. So now your new self has to fill that spot and make you whole. Right. Your new self is ready. Your old self won't go out. So you have to have that removal so the new can slide on over to the left. Right. But instead you choose the clown. 12, 3. You want to stay in this spot of comfort. 13, yet again, you're getting your bubble busted. And you're going against your own self. You're going against your own grain. 8, because you're keeping yourself trapped up in these cycles that are never ending and you will never come out of, because you'll never go switch over into the 9. You'll never morph into the 9 where there's an actual outing. Yeah, but you got to go down to get out, right? Look at the number 9. In order to remove yourself from that number 9, you got to go down. You got to fall down and come on out, right? So you are totally against yourselves. It's on the Yokeez, right? I ain't in the mood for nothing today. This is a situation that I just described where you have always thought you were successful, but now you see through reflection, after being stopped in your tracks finally, and having to look back at yourself, at your past, at who you are and how you got to be who you are, what you have become through your choices, right? You are now being forced to look back at that and see that the judgment, the decision against you is just. Whatever problem a person has with you, it's just because you lived your life continuously 666 mode, continuously coming at someone with devilish evil intent, living your life in the foulest way possible towards others in secret. That's why you were able to become successful, because you were cutthroat behind closed doors and so cute out in public, right? What else, Yokeez? Just reiterating what I said about coming up and ending at 13 for a lot of you. A lot of you are not getting past the number 13. And those of you who did get past 13, we made it back to 23. And that's not doubling it, right? We made it up to 23. And that's where another death, chance for death comes. Right, because at this number, this is it. This is your final death. It's your final destination. This is when you are no longer on earth. You're not breathing. The 23. The 13 can be a physical death or a spiritual death or a death to old self. And the spiritual death is When you get to 23, you dying, you're done, right? You can die at any point, right? Before 23 or exactly at 23 when you have a spiritual death. Because what have you done? You've given up on God, right? So your physical death, your spiritual death, and then your death to self, which is where you make the choice at 13. I don't want to be this way anymore. I want to get better. Take me on my journey to the proper place. Heavenly Father, right? So this is when you go on your journey and you get to 23 and God says, well done, right? You'll never taste death. And when I say death, that doesn't mean you die physically. You don't die physically. It just means I'll see you at the second coming if you're not alive during the time period of me raising the dead, right? You understand what I'm saying? Read Revelations if you don't. Some people will not die ever. Some people will die and come back. So he said, if you are still here, well, you ain't got to worry about dying when I come, at the second coming. But if you die, I will see you. I will raise you back up, right? If you die before the second coming, I'll raise you back up. So, a lot of you with that 11 gave up. 11 and 38, you gave up. You gave up those. You gave up the ability to hear, well done. You didn't mind your business, right? So you gave it up. You wanted to be in other realms. I've never heard of people astral planning and being in other realms through God. Never heard of it. So that tells me that is some fanatical underworld stuff. That is some jinn stuff. That is some stuff that has not been created for the average person to do. So you must be doing something outside of God's agreement to get there. Or if there's a particular nation God gave that gift to for his purposes, well, you went and learned their tricks, or somebody showed you their trick, their gift, and now it's being prostituted by anyone. Just like the church is prostituted. The word is heavily prostituted. People get paid off the word and they're not living it. They're just reading the same scriptures. I don't know. I'm not going there. But number 7, right? So there's justice, but you want justice, but you're still very, very sloppy. So God said, I'm not in you. I'll never be in you. So hit the 50. I'm not in you. I'll never be in you. Hit the 50. So, and the 50 is what? The stress. Right. It's when you're going into your period of whooping on total ass to get all that garbage out of you. Putting you through the breaking. Putting you through the removal of, I need that. I want that. That's mine. Right. Why I gotta give that up? That's what the 50 is all about. Not being selfish. Not, oh, I'm about to get the other 50. No. The 50 is about a breaking, a releasing, a removal. Removing everything you don't want to get rid of. Because until you do, you're not going to get to that 60. And it's what? From 50 to 60, that's 10, right? You got 10 steps you got to take. This ain't no 12-step program. You got 10 steps you got to take to get to your freedom. To get to your new person, which is the 60. And once you get there, you got to get to the 70. Because the 60 is just the new you. You're still a man. You're a new man. But the 70 is your training to get seasoned. So you can do your assignment that God created you to do. So once you hit 70, now you got to go to 80. You got to prove to God that you can have your assignment released to you. So at 80, you get your assignment released to you. Because you've proven to God from 70 to 80, this person will put in the work. And I'm not talking about your age. This person will put in work and they will get the job done. And they went consistently. They didn't stay stalled off 50 years, right? This person consistently moved from 50, 60, 70 to 80. So now I can release their assignment to them. 90, this person is working in their assignment. They're trustworthy. I see they haven't used their assignment for nothing other than what I told them to do. So now I'm able to release what? 100-fold, right? Get your stuff, girl. Right, you able to be, or guy, yeah, you get released your stuff at 100-fold. Listen to how I told you to go through those steps, right? 40 is when you're in total distress, you're breaking, right? Everybody goes through that 40. Why? Because we've done things in our life that we totally regret. 40 is your regret phase. You're regretting things that you did in your past to people. You regret allowing certain things to happen to you. You regret missing certain opportunities. You regret being with certain people. You understand where I'm going with that. That's your regret phase, right? The 30 is when you're in your mess. The 30 is when you're in your mess. You're loving it, right? You don't care. You're loving it. That's when you're partying, right? You're 20. That's when you're young and learning. So you're making your mistakes. You got a little distress, but it don't bother you. You're young. You can handle it, right? And like I said, that doesn't mean your age. I'm just saying when you're in your 20, you're younger. You're more capable of handling certain stresses. So even if you're at the 20, you might have been 30 at the 20. You might have been a teenager at the 20. Right? So there's different phases. Right? You could be young and be at 100 by the time you're 35. Right? You can be at 100 not until you 60. Right? It just depends on your walk with God and your assignment with God from jump. So at your 20, that's when you're younger and you can handle these stresses. And that's all right. I just paid a fine. I don't mind paying $100 for that fine. I got to park here and get where I got to get. Right. I know they're going to ticket me, but oh well. I got stuff to run in here and do. Right. This spot was open. Right. That's right. And then when you at your 10, that's when you starting out fresh, right? You don't know nothing. You wet behind the ears, as they say. So listen to my steps, right? That's the steps, right? And that's the Christian way steps, but you can take the Christian out of it. That's just life itself that I gave you steps for, right? I don't take Christian out of anything I do, but, you know, everybody's not a Christian, but sometimes you just need to follow the right steps, and then you may end up a Christian, right? That's the whole point of it. And I don't mean the whole point is to end up a Christian. I mean, the whole point is to change. And upon changing and going through my steps that I gave you and understanding that God is leading you, guess what? You may be like, you know what? Let me get this Christian thing done. Right. So that's totally up to you. But like I said, I definitely advocate for Christianity. I definitely do. But I'm not forcing people to be Christians. That's your choice. That's your life. And that is what you choose to do with God or not. I have nothing to do with that. God, if God is no longer asking you, do you want to walk with him? Well, then he's telling you now, I've allowed you to make your choice to not be a Christian, right? If God is not nudging you any longer, then understand that what he has done has released you over to your own self, meaning you don't want Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. You don't want to be a Christian. And God says, that's fine with me. Understand what choice you have made, though. Right, but you know, God rude with it. I'm being, you know, I'm not going to be rude with it, right? But like I told you, God's kicking you over to the other side and pushing that button, go to hell, right? So with that being stated, con eso dicho, right? This has been an excellent talk here. Wow. Well, let's see how long this takes to upload. You know how they do me. Hopefully there's not a crazy face. I am just too professional for all of this, though. Come on now. But I don't beg nobody for nothing. Either you give it to me or you don't. Either you respect me or you won't. That's your recompense from God for that, right? I'm a great person, but I'm not for everybody. That's cool. Like I said, I'll kick you in your gut and make you wake up to create a better person out of you, not a Christian out of you. Have a great one.